Today we are going to perform the Azure SQL database demonstration, a very simple demonstration where we will see the various components which is required to work with the Azure SQL database. So you need to go to the search bar, type in Azure SQL, and you would find SQL database, MySQL Server, Azure SQL. Okay, let's click on Azure SQL. Click on Add, and here you will see the options or to create a SQL database, single database, create the SQL managed instance, or best for migrations and applications requiring OS level access, lift and shift ready. SQL virtual machine. It means you would have the image to choose in which the SQL has already been installed. If you go and type Azure SQL database, you would have that option. Oh, I'm sorry. I think right here. Yeah. From here, we can create the database. Now, the things that you need to keep in your mind, we can select the resource group from here. Let's suppose I selected this one. You need to give the name of your database. Let's suppose we gave the name database testy demo. All right, just the name. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is a logical server in which we will place the database. So to create a single database, we need this logical server already created. And you can create this server separately and then create the database inside or create the elastic pool inside. So if I have to explain what is the SQL server, it is a logical server or construct that act as a central administrative point for multiple single or pooled databases. It could be in a different region than its resource group, okay, just like any other resource. The SQL database server must exist before you can create the Azure SQL database. So when we are trying to create the SQL database, it gives us an option either to put this database inside the existing logical construct that I have few many, and or you can create a new one from here. Okay, you can do this way as well. So let's perform Azure SQL and create the SQL server. I'm all back to the same page. Okay. Now from here I can create the SQL servers. Now this is the logical server that we are creating first because this is required, and then we'll create the single database or pool database or try to exchange it, try to run the queries. Those things we'll do later, a step by step, just for the understanding. So the things which is required is the resource group for sure. Let's put it here. Enter the name of the server. Let me give it demo database. It's in East US. This name should be unique because this is used as a DNS or when you try to connect through public endpoint, so that name is used. So let's make it unique. Just change anything, it become unique. Give the admin login. This is the administrative username and password for your SQL server, logical server, and you can use it to run queries in your database. In the next, we have networking, where it defines the firewall rules. Okay, I'm not selecting it yes so that we can test it later. When we try to access something, it would block, and I'll show you here exactly it blocks. Go to additional settings. Here it says data security. We can use, it's 15 USD. It's pretty expensive, but it is a very good feature. Advanced data security. It protects your data using advanced Data security, a unified security package including data classification, vulnerability assessment, and advanced threat protection. It is the advanced thing. But in this demonstration, we are not digging anything advanced. We are just going to create a SQL server, logical server, a single database, elastic pool, try to mess with these things. These are these expensive advanced things, and maybe in future we'll definitely work on those things as well. So for now, let's review and create. All right, create. It will take some time, so let's wait while it is creating. Okay, so I think I've explained what is the SQL Server, which is creating. It's a logical construct, and then we can create single database and elastic database inside the same SQL Server. If you remember, we have three ways of SQL deployment: single, elastic, and managed instance. Managed instance is totally separate from this way of deployment. We can create it from the portal separately, not in this SQL server. Okay, so let's wait while it's in underway. All right, so it's been deployed, and let's click on resource. This is our demo database, and you can see the server admin. Okay, and these all are the features that we talked about in the first introductory video for the SQL database. It's a very huge topic, and each and every feature requires a hell lot of understanding and good read on the documentation and the practice on the portal. As I said, this demonstration is not about touching the advanced stuff. So here we can see we have an option to create database. This is the single database and the elastic pool. Let's create a single database first. Okay, now it is asking the name for your database. Let's give it a name, demo database. Okay, now here you can see, want to use SQL Elastic Pool? No, not right now. We'll create it later. Okay, now here is the compute plus storage that you need for this PaaS service. You can opt for general purpose, or if you click on configure database, you will see the two-way of purchasing model that we talked about, right? Right now you see it's a V core, just like the usual way, compute and the storage that you can choose for hyperscale, business critical, or general purpose. If I drag it down a little bit here, sorry, here, you see here we have the DTU way of choosing the computer storage power for our SQL. Okay, it was the first unit for the SQL PaaS services, but after the request of the so many customers, like they're not able to figure out the compute power or the storage power for their SQL, so MS come up with this option as well, vCore, this option as well. So it depends you are comfortable with. So I'm okay with my lab for now, so let's do this, or let's go to the, it's loading now. Sometimes it does that, get stuck or something. Not always, but sometimes. Okay. All right, now we are here. Now let's go here and we can select this general purpose 2B core and 32 GB. That is like more than enough for our demonstration. Now we can click on networking. Here you can see the options like the private endpoints, you know, and the firewall rules. I'm not configuring anything right now. Additional setting where you can let's take the sample data so that we can run some query. Okay, and this is the advanced data security that we see in the on the logical SQL server creation. So this is all about it right now. Let's create it quickly. It will not take that long, and as soon as this is up, we'll try to run some query on this database, and then we will try to create a elastic pool and move this database inside the elastic pool or move it outside the elastic pool, so that we can utilize both ways, single database and elastic database. And it is not like if you are creating your database inside the Elastic Pool, you cannot move outside of it. Yes, you can. So let's wait while it is creating. All right, so it's been deployed. Good. Let's go to the resource. Now we're getting the notifications. Close this. Now this is our database inside this logical server that you can see. If you're connecting from outside, the SQL Server name is this, and admin and password, username and password that we provided while creating this logical server. Now let's go to the query editor you have right now right here, rather than you need to download SSMS and do it from your laptop maybe. So click on query editor just to see, can we query? Okay, now here some dots will join and you'll be happy about it. So this is the AZ admin. Let me put my password here. There you go. And it says you cannot, because this IP address is not whitelisted. If you remember when we were creating the logical SQL server, it was showing some firewall settings and I did not select anything. So let me go ahead, go to the SQL server, go under the firewall and virtual networks. Now here it will show my IP address right here. Let me copy this and paste it in the rule. Type it like rule 1. There is a space. Get rid of the space and save it. Now I have whitelisted my IP address. Now I should be able to run the queries. Now click on the SQL database here on the left hand side under the settings. This is our demo database. Click on it and you will be on the database page, database portal. Here you have different kind of other options as well. We'll see it later. Let's go to the query editor, type in the password, click OK. There we go. Now you can see the tables from here, and so that you can run any query on the base of these tables. Let's run select star from let's try to run this. See, we are getting the results. If you run the other queries, you click here and you can run the bigger queries as well. Rather than writing, I do the copy and paste to save the time, and here we go. So that's how you can connect, that's how you can run multiple queries. Okay, now let me close this and show you, or okay, go to the overview page and you will see we do have another set of firewalls on the database. So if I click here, I'll find my IPs already whitelisted because this is coming from the SQL server. Okay, let me go ahead and delete the IP address from the SQL server and let's see if I would be able to connect to the database or not. Okay, any guesses? If you have, just keep it with you. Let's see if it works or not, and I'll explain you once I'm done with the testing. Okay, I have deleted. I click the save. Now let's go to the database again. Click here. It has been successfully saved. Go to the query editor, type in the password. I think this is the password. Okay, no, let me type it in. So we cannot open the query. You see, editor here. So we learned if we remove it from the logical server, it will not show here. Let me see under set server firewall. You can see the rule has been removed from here also. You can do this testing again. So what this says we have a SQL firewall we have the firewall to whitelist your IP addresses on the logical server as well, and on the database as well. If you allow it on the logical server, it will automatically allow it from the uh, database level. But if you deny it on the database level and you allow it on the SQL logical server, it won't work. Okay, let me try to show you. Right now, if I allow it here, okay, I allow it here, and okay, let me save it. This is interesting. Server firewalls. Okay, this is on the SQL database. This is on the database level. All right, if you go here under the firewalls, you see it comes here. Though we have deleted, let's delete it. See, it is all interconnected. Saved it. Now you go there on your SQL database and set the server firewall. You don't have here. So it is all interconnected as per the demonstration that we are seeing right now. But you can add your client IP here. You can save it. And once it is saved, you can simply go to the query editor. Now, we have not saved anything on the logical server, but on the database. We can type the password and we are in. Right? Cool. Now, let's go back to the SQL server and create one elastic pool. From the overview add database, we have add elastic pool option as well. Click here, give it a name, my pool, review and create. We don't have much of the information except the compute and storage, that we are choosing the vCores for the general purpose for our demonstration. So it will not take much long. There we go. And once the elastic pool is created, what we will do, I have already told you, we'll try to move the existing single database that we have created into the pool. So it happens usually when you create the architecture for your customer is not okay with the elastic pool. They create their single databases, then finally they realized the compute or storage power is actually getting wasted, and they want to opt for the elastic pool later. Maybe they are not familiar with the Azure services in the beginning, and once they're happy, they want to utilize the more services, they want to save more money. So you can get in the elastic pool and get out of the elastic pool as well. All right, so let's wait while it's creating. There we go. So go to the resource. Now here you can see we can create the database inside the elastic pool from here. You click on configure, and we have the other options of the power for the elastic pool, or if you click on the databases, you can add the database from here. This is our single database. Click here, apply, and now we can save it. Now this database will move into the elastic pool. So that's how it is done. We have so many other settings to go through to learn. It's not like in a single video 15 or 20 minutes we can cover this huge PaaS service. It has a tremendous amount of capabilities. For example, if you see, we have those features like advanced security feature. We talked about private endpoints. There is encryption feature right here, transparent data encryption. That means if your data is present on the Azure data center, it would be encrypted. If somehow somebody able to access the database data center, or somehow it's been compromised, your data is still in encrypted form. And if you go to the database here, you have the options like geo replication. You can make it highly available, regional. You can select any of the region to replicate. You can create sync groups, sync to the another databases. There's so many other wonderful options to opt for to learn from. So for now, this is all about the SQL database demonstration. And thank you for watching. I'll share all the relevant links so that if you want to have a good read or digging a little deeper, you can do that. Thank you for watching and you have a good day.